cut my life into pieces. This is my...
The free speech movement began in 1964 at the University of California, Berkeley. It started when student activists made an organization called SLATE during the 1958 academic year. This student political group was used to promote support for off-campus issues. The president of the university, Clark Kerr, administered a policy that denied student groups that participated in off-campus politics the right to operate on campus ground, but authorized the creation of a small plaza on the corner of Bancroft Way and Telegraph Avenue, which measured to be a 26 by 40 foot strip of land. The students agreed to use this plaza as a location for SLATE. Later, on September 14, 1964, the Dean of Students, Catherine Towle, wrote a letter to the student political groups informing them that they could no longer use the plaza as a location to support off-campus political and social action. This action led to 18 student groups asking the dean to reverse the eviction, and soon learned that Catherine Towle was not able to. These same students named themselves as the United Front, and on September 30th organized a 10-hour sit-in in Sproul Hall and directly defied this new policy by continuing with their work on Bancroft and Telegraph. The students set up tables to promote their off-campus actions, and later, 5 of the students were taken to the dean's office. Marches and rallies were organized. Students flooded the administration office demanding to be punished with the 5 other students, and a petition of complicity consisting of 400 student signatures was presented to the dean. It was announced that 3 students were added to the cited students list and another 8 were indefinitely suspended. This protest did not end until 3 the next morning.
Tables were set up against the very next day, with alumnus Jack Weinberg running one of the court tables, which was a party supporting racial equality. Weinberg was arrested after refusing to give his name or show a student card, which he was unable to do since he was not a current student. After refusing to move, the police carried him into a police car. Witnessing students then surrounded the vehicle to keep it from moving and deflated the tires. Police retreated while thousands of students took over the plaza in front of the administration building. The car was used as a platform for the continuing rally where Art and Jackie Goldberg were leading the United Front students. New students like Mario Savio stood on top of the police car, capturing the loyalty of the crowd while his charismatic speeches about the right of free speech that were being denied to the university students. The United Front asked for a negotiation group, but the campus administration refused to meet with them. The administration instead called for several local police to arrest those who did not leave the plaza by 6 p.m. This was intervened by Governor Pat Brown, insisting that the university president Kerr find a more peaceful solution. Kerr agreed to meet with the protesters, and the impact of October 2nd was signed. University of California President Clark long insisted that the university wouldn't interfere with the student lives off campus, but by the same token that the students must keep their political activities off campus. This pact allowed the students to write for free speech on campus. The United Front became formally known as the Free Speech Movement, with about 50 members in its executive committee, and elected 12 other members to monitor negotiation over rules for student groups. Many students were motivated by the movement, increasing their followers and members. They were able to produce documents, buttons, and record free speech movement Christmas carols. Still, the campus committee on political activity were reluctant to agree on a stance regarding the students' support of off-campus actions. The FSM response was to say that the U.S. Constitution should be there only no limits regarding their political actions, and that they should be punished by a judge after a criminal trial.
Later on December 2nd, another rally was conducted, when campus administration sent letters to Mario Savio, Art Goldberg, Jackie Goldberg, and Brian Turner for leading the October 1st and 2nd demonstrations. 2,000 people attended the rally occupying the administration building. Arrests starting at 3 a.m. and not ending until 12 hours later, with 773 people arrested, 735 of those being students. Monday, December 7th, meetings were held where it was noted that 1/3 of the departmental chairmen did not support the old rulings. When Mario Savio walked on stage intending to speak, he was dragged away by campus police before he could do so. After many students rushed to the stage, Savio was allowed to speak, where he invited supporters to rally at the administration building once again. At the rally, faculty and a few public officials attended to show support for the students and their agreement that a political activity should be allowed on campus grounds. The next day it was voted in the Academic Senate meeting that there should be no restrictions on the content of speech or advocacy. Even with this victory for the free speech movement, struggles were still present. One incident regarding Art Goldberg and 8 others were arrested for displaying and saying the word fuck. Regents were outraged and insisted for expulsion, and the FSM were labeled as the filthy speech movement for quite some time later. The 9 that were arrested were convicted in municipal court and sentenced without incident. The campus administration appointed a disciplinary committee that recommended that Goldberg be expelled and 3 other students be suspended. This incident proved to many that the Berkeley students needed more discipline, not more freedom. After the 773 protesters were tried before a judge and received a sentence of probation and fines, the FSM devolved. The movement was the beginning of what could be called the 6-year war on Berkeley campus. The movement had grown out of students involved in the civil rights movement and became a sign of the power of student activism that would be a trademark of the 1960s. Students also were permitted to hold protests and marches for a variety of political, religious, and social issues.
Cut my life into pieces. This